Welcome to Harrison, New Jersey, just a few miles from New York City, and to ESPN's coverage of this Road to 26 friendly, presented by Turkish Airlines. Starting 11 presented by Bet Online for Bolivia, and they're going with the 4-3-3. Paniagua played in a more defensive role in their last game, which was a World Cup qualifying final playoff that they lost 2-1 against Iraq. Look at the Scotland lineup. So you mentioned maybe 8 or 9 of these you reckon will start. Who are the ones you're not sure will play against Haiti from the beginning? Scotland are favourites for this one. I think it's a pretty good fixture for them because they're probably going to have more of the ball, and Steve Clarke wanted in the 2 games last week against Curaçao and this one against Bolivia to try and mimic the opposition that they're going to get when they face Haiti next week. The majority of the crowd inside the Sports Illustrated Stadium supporting Scotland in their change kit today. Mark Donaldson alongside the former Scotland international Don Hutchison. For this one, Shankland and Adams in attack.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what the tempo of the game's like, Mark. That's the most important thing when you're coming into a tournament and you're playing in the heat and difficult conditions. Are you going to be patient, keep hold of the ball? Bolivia will certainly try and do that. So can Scotland match them and have more possession?
Ben Gannon-Doak. There'll be some players that probably know, as long as they're fit, they'll start next week for Scotland, like this man McTominay. Others, though, will want to use this as an opportunity to impress if they're not convinced themselves that they'll be in the starting lineup against Haiti.
Yeah, you would imagine Scott McTominay will do 45 minutes for maybe then John McGinn or an hour.
Robertson for Christie. Back to Robertson. Shankland! Again! 2 last week against Curaçao and heads home inside 5 minutes. Scotland lead Bolivia in Harrison, New Jersey.
He just knows where to be, Shankland. He's a prolific striker. He's very technical when he's outside the 18-yard box, but he absolutely comes alive. And he always seems to smell the space. It was a lovely stand-up cross on that left-hand side. A good little give and go. And Andy Robertson just stands one up, and they've got the overload to the far post, but he's very patient. He's in a really good position there, Shankland. No need to run in there. Just get the flight of the ball. Technically, outstanding header.
I just wondered initially if Christie had put too much on that one for Robertson. I think he was hoping it was a little bit closer to him, but the new Spurs signing does brilliantly to stand it up. And Lawrence Shankland. And Shankland with a flick. Just an instinctive striker. And Ben Gannon-Doak has got the better of Paniagua. Scotland have started this one well. Shea Adams spilled by Vizcarra and cleared by Bolivia. For a team like Scotland especially, it's being clinical with the chances. You're not going to allow yourself 4, 5, 6 chances if you only score 1 goal. That won't be enough. You've got to be better than that. And Steve Clarke knows that. He was speaking about that. 1 chance, 1 goal so far, 100% record. Here's Shea Adams. Scott
That
McTominay.
on top of clean sheets. That on top of clean sheets.
Of course. Christie with the effort. Speaking of clean sheets, Scotland have conceded in each of the last 7 games. Shankland was hoping Shea Adams was a little bit closer to. Back in by Hendry. Good nod down. Shankland. Shea Adams just wide. And when you look at his other options, that was probably the right choice.
Absolutely. He's just trying to hit that with a little bit of cut spin, just a little bit of fade. Just couldn't bring it back. It's exactly where he would have wanted to start this, but just didn't cut across the ball to get that cut spin. It's good effort.
Well, one back. Shankland looked lively in this first half. Best ball for Gannon-Doak. He apologises for it. Still in play. Hickey making the run. This is Lewis Ferguson. We've just upped the tempo a little bit here. Shankland to McTominay. It's 2. It might not be as high quality as the overhead kick against Denmark. And Vizcarra will not want to see it again, the goalkeeper. But any goal for your country will do for Scott McTominay, who gets his 15th, and Scotland leads by 2-0.
It's a top-class move. I mean, Vizcarra had a nightmare in goal here. It's a shot that he should save. It was a good lay-off that from Shankland. It was a good move from Scotland, played into Shankland. Nice little touch off to McTominay. Drilled it into the bottom corner, not quite in the corner. Goalkeeper should 100% save it, but just before the water break, big goal for Scotland.
And I think they worked it out, 96% of third place teams with a neutral or better goal difference with 3 points will get through. Chases on for Hickey, who gets there first, and Angus Gunn clears it away.
I don't think they should be too negative though against Morocco and Brazil. It feels like everyone's saying, right, beat Haiti and then we might change the system for Morocco or Brazil. Go and play against them. Go and test yourself.
Gannon Doak in, and it's 3. Shea Adams, simple. Dreamland for the Scots. But what has happened to the Bolivian defending?
Good Scotland goal, it's a pacey goal, it's Gannon Doak getting on the outside. But who's marking Shea Adams in the box? If you're a defender, you can't afford to look at your teammates. Someone's got to get touch tight and get close to Shea Adams. The assist is a good one from Gannon Doak because he doesn't bobble it into him, so that's pass appreciation where he's put it along the deck.
He's got that tendency, hasn't he, playing on the right hand side to want to come back on the left, but if you can keep the defender guessing where you're going to go. Paniagua with a poor ball, and they've committed bodies forward, and Shea Adams is off to the left hand side as an option here. Ryan Christie. Having seen Guillermo Vizcarra's performance so far, anytime you're within range, you want to test this goalkeeper.
100%. I think he's just looking to drop the shoulder here, Christie, and trying to fire it towards the bottom left-hand corner, unless he's trying to give the goalkeeper the eyes and trying to reverse it to the right side. But I think he'll try and push. I think he'll try and ask for minutes in his performances and his attitude.
This is Ben Gannon Doak. And that's a good save by Vizcarra. Great footwork by Gannon Doak. And right now Scotland look like they could score every time they get into the box.
Well, that's it, and that's what I said before without even trying. But what I meant by that is when they go up the gears.
First Scotland corner of the game. It's pretty much been all Scotland in this first half. What can they make of their first corner? In by Lewis Ferguson. Flick on, and what a chance that was for Andy Robertson. He couldn't just get high enough, quick enough to nod it into the back of the net.
Well, I was just going to say, before the corner come in, that'll be something that Steve Clarke might want to try and add to Scotland in the World Cup, set plays, and that nearly come off. It's a good delivery to the near post, good flick on.
Arsenal did all right with set plays this season as well. Morales. Via Mills okay again. Like his accuracy, but he's going to go back for the initial challenge for the foul and the free kick to Bolivia.
Well, I'm not sure about that one. I mean, like, you give the player the advantage to take the strike, and just because he hasn't hit the target, then you can't bring it back and say, well, you got no advantage. The advantage was taking the shot. I think there's a little bit of a collision from Hickey. I can understand why the referee might have thought that was a foul, but going back after the shot's a strange one.
Yeah, you get that in rugby where you're allowed various phases after an infringement is committed, but you don't often see as long as that given. So far so good for Steve Clarke's man. Hickey mops up, and this is Gannon Doak. Scotland always look like they're going to do something when he's in possession. He's got Shea Adams to his left. If at first you don't succeed, the ball ricocheting back to him from the initial effort. And the Scots cannot believe that they lead by 4-0. Even
Well,
Batman's happy.
Yeah, that goal is all about Gannon Doak. He'll get the assist, and rightly so, but it was a terrific run straight to the heart of that midfield. And you just think, in 5 players around him, can he pick the right pass? And he did. He knew Shea Adams was to his left-hand side. Got a little bit fortunate when he took the first shot, Shea Adams, and it bounced right back into his stride. And then the second effort was drilled home. This is the way he gets the fortune, but that is a good hit.
I think Steve Clarke has his front two to face Haiti. Two for Adams, one for Shankland. Ben Gannon Doak providing the assist. Keeper stays. Morales couldn't get there. That'll do us. A first half that I don't think any Scotland fan could have thought was going to happen before kickoff. They wanted a win, they hoped for a win. They've got 4 goals in 45 minutes. Good touch in the middle. And here comes Scotland again with Ben Gannon Doak. Shea Adams is in the middle. Shankland's in the middle. Ben Gannon Doak wins the corner, but every time he gets the ball there's an excitement among the Scotland fans in the crowd.
Yeah, he's an absolute threat, isn't he? I mean, if you're Lewis Ferguson or Scott McTominay at midfield and you've got him on your right-hand side, just get the ball into his stride and urge him to take the defender on. He's so quick and so direct.
Shot by McGinn for Ferguson. Back to where it came from. Fancies a goal. Doesn't get the space.
That looked like off the Aston Villa training ground, that one.
McGinn again. It should be a corner and is.
He's had a cracking season, John McGinn.
What a chance. I think the header hit Jack Hendry and he didn't know anything about it. Back by Hickey. Just too much.
That's a lovely ball in that from John McGinn. Was begging to be finished.
Who did this hit after the initial header? It does hit Jack Hendry and he didn't know much about it.
It was off McTominay. He won the header.
Yep. Nice bit of play by Robson Mateus. Opens up for Bolivia here. First real opportunity they've had to attack Scotland with numbers. Appeal for a handball and they get the decision. Especially with Nathan Patterson on the bench and given Hickey's injury history. Oh, we're going to get a card here for Miguelito. Rosendo Mendoza, the referee, obviously hearing something he didn't like. Okay, eventually. Goes for the right arm, and it's a good decision. Angus Gunn. Xhaka didn't play that game because there's no way that Trinidad would have conceded 4 goals if
what a shame.
Xhaka was playing. He would have kept a clean sheet. Gunn comes out and comfortable. He just couldn't quite get that under control. Centella.
He's got something. Yeah, he's got something about him, Centella. That low centre of gravity. And he's young.
A lot of whistles in the first 10 minutes from referee Rosenda Mendoza. Alberto Fernandez. It's Bolivia's turn to be careless in possession. McTominay glides. McGinn might have been offside. Flag stays down for now. Shankland's in the middle waiting. The flag goes up for a corner. So Cally Smith deciding it wasn't offside initially against John McGinn, but he would have just preferred a pass that was for him to run onto rather than to him, Don.
You're spot on. Scott McTominay done really well in the middle of the park, but this pass here, a little bit more juice on that pass. You've got to try and put that right in front of John McGinn. Ask him to run onto it.
Jack Hendry's an interesting one at the back post. That's exactly where he was aiming for, and it was just overhit beyond him and Lewis Ferguson.
So it depends what he's looking for, Steve Clarke, in that first game. Depends how he sees it.
Yeah, what Haiti do have is they have a lot of pace in transition. So they'll be thinking their best chances of success against Scotland are when Scotland give the ball away.
Well, that's the poker game, isn't it?
Yep.
Don't give the ball away. That's the poker game you play as a coach.
Speaking of games, Melgaard goes into the book for not retreating.
You can allow the opposition in Haiti to be good on the counter and in transition, but that means you're going to give the ball away, so be better when you've got the ball. So therefore Suter might start the game over Hanley.
Again, Gannon Doak and Hickey teaming up. Cleared away by Morales. Here's Gannon Doak again. He just looks like he's having a blast.
He's unplayable.
He looks like he's having so much fun. McTominay now. And an arm across the face inadvertently for a free kick.
Yeah, I think it might be time to take McTominay off.
Yeah, we saw at half-time when Kay was showing us the highlights from other games, and the two players in the Portugal game sent off last week when Scotland played Curaçao. The Curaçao striker getting sent off for violent conduct. You don't want to take any chances.
I mean, dear me, there's nothing in that whatsoever. That's embarrassing.
It's a foul, and on we go. Scotland will head back down to their base in Charlotte, where they haven't been yet. They flew over from Glasgow last Sunday via Bangor, Maine to refuel. Kieran Tierney. What a sitter. What a sitter.
Got to score. Can't believe he's missed it.
I mean, he puts that in the back of the net with his eyes closed most of the time.
Sometimes you can just be a little bit complacent because you back yourself. Sometimes you think, well, this is too easy. Outside the 18-yard box, then Shankland can stay the width of the 18-yard box and finish chances off.
Miguelito. Comfortable for Angus Gunn. So the other two changes, as well as Hurst and Stewart coming on for Scotland. Ralston Finlay Curtis. Nicely done. Right footer on the left. Wins the corner. Got that goal last week after coming on as a sub. Finlay Curtis. Set plays could be crucial against Haiti, who are good in transition but not great at defending set plays. They were okay against New Zealand in victory, but not against Peru on Friday night when they were a goal up and lost by 2-1 late on.
Not really. Not really. I don't think you're looking at anything from now on thinking, right, is anything going to change Steve Clarke's mind? As I said before, I think you'll probably guarantee that'll be Shea Adams and Shankland as a front two going into the Haiti game. The rest, I think, I agree with Stevie. I think that Steve Clarke will probably know he's 11 by now. But I think the first 45 would have convinced him that that's the front two he's going to go with. because he might have thought Dykes could be a handful up front to try and take Scotland up the pitch and keep hold of the ball, and might be a good foil for Shankland. But I think the running in the goals that Shea Adams has scored, I think he's probably nailed on to start.
It's Hakeem with the adventurous pass to a teammate. Nakazaki. Nicely done by Fernandez. Miguelito. This is Melgar. This is better from Bolivia. Passing it quicker, keeping it simple. And a foul by Kenny McLean.
And I think when you look at potentially the midfield four for Scotland against Haiti, it'll be Gannon Doak on the right-hand side, McTominay, McGinn instead of Ferguson, and Christie.
Yep. Robertson at left back, Hickey at right back, Angus Gunn probably in the goal. So it just depends on who he goes with as his centre backs as he stays. George Hurst is fouled. Makazaga protests his innocence. Is there such a thing as trying too hard?
Oh, there is, absolutely. I'm not getting that sense from the latter part of this game, but you can try too hard. Sometimes when you're given an opportunity, you can try and you can run, and sometimes you run too much.
This is big for him. This is something he's always wanted to do, is take Scotland to a World Cup, and there's a spring in his step, and no wonder.
Well, it was high, wasn't it, after the performance in the goals against Denmark, the quality of the goals and the euphoria. And then the games after that, where they lost against Japan and lost against the Ivory Coast, they just put a dampener.
They want a clean sheet, though. Yeah.
Yeah, those two back-to-back defeats just put a slight, even though, they've earned the right to get to a World Cup, which was amazing, and then those couple of little iffy performances just put a little bit of doubt. But then the win last week and the 4-1, and then the win tonight, feel-good factor maybe is back going into the first game against Haiti. It's where you want to be. Back-to-back wins is a decent place to be.
It was probably on McGinn rather than Tyler Fletcher. Pass wasn't the best. The apology was forthcoming to his younger teammate from the Aston Villa skipper.
But I can't remember watching a game, when I watched the Denmark game, the emotion and the standard of goals that Scotland scored. I mean, everyone was just getting topped by every other goal. Whether it was Scott McTominay's overhead kick or Kenny McLean from the halfway line, Tierney with a left foot, Bender from the right-hand side. Incredible goals.
Suriname just couldn't find a winner, though, and Iraq did. That's why Bolivia are not going to the World Cup. Here's George Hurst. So much power from very little backlift, but not on target.
Well, that's what he can do. He shifted the ball onto his right side. He was sharp. Just pulled the finish slightly. Just found himself in a nice bit of space, just shifted it to the right side. Good feet. Take a small touch, so then you can get your shot off.
Did well there. It's better from the goalkeeper. He's had a much better second half because he's had a lot less to do. Still wins the best moustache. That'll do us. 4-0 at the half, 4-0 at the end. Good run out. And crucially, no injuries for Steve Clarke, his players, and the watching Tartan Army. Only the third time in history that Scotland have scored 4 goals unanswered away from home in the first half.